This is one of the hardest things I've ever had to do.
I'm a little dizzy.
It's time to find out who will crumble under the pressure and who has what it takes to be a champion of the Challenge USA.
At CBS, 3 big words we love to hear.
Come on down!
I'm happy and I know I'm winning.
Lucky us, we get to hear them every Monday and Friday night.
That's all I needed to hear.
The Price is Right at night, Monday and Friday on CBS.
1, 2, 3, go!
A new Loteria Loca, Monday on CBS.
Rally cars, sled dogs, and ghosts. Oh my. I've got your Friday and weekend event planners ahead in your full forecast. Live from downtown Marquette, it's your 19 News.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Sarah Blakely. Tonight on your WZMQ 19 News, the Israeli-Palestinian crisis continues, and now Israel's prime minister says he's cutting off resources to Gaza until Hamas releases hostages. We have the latest. Plus, the ongoing United Auto Workers strike is now putting a strain on picketing workers, how they're struggling to make ends meet with small strike paychecks, and why the city of Escanaba is postponing a decision on allowing residents to have chickens on their properties. Your 19 News starts now.
Live from the UP, this News at 11.
Of course, it's cool out tonight, but it's also pretty quiet for now, too.
We'll take it, right?
Yeah.
I'm done with the rain showers. However, I'm so sorry to report those are going to be back, as well as breezy conditions. But you're right, Sarah, it's going to be fairly calm this evening. And like I mentioned, those gusty winds are going to be returning on our Friday, even into the weekend, as well as a little bit of precipitation. Temperatures very much cooling off. We're in the 40s for the majority of us. A little bit warmer down south there with 47 in Menominee. Today out at the National Weather Service, we saw a high of 48 degrees. I've got your full forecast, and I'll show you when those rain showers are coming.
Thank you very much, Ariane. Developing now, Congressman Steve Scalise has dropped out of the race to become House Speaker in a sign that divisions are intensifying among House Republicans. The House has been without a leader for more than a week after Kevin McCarthy was ousted by hardliners. Natalie Brandt has the latest developments.
Here with my colleagues, I'm withdrawing my name as a candidate for the Speaker designee.
Louisiana Congressman Steve Scalise making that decision Thursday night after a day of closed-door meetings with his colleagues.
Our conference still has to come together and is not there. There are still some people that have their own agendas, and I was very clear. We have to have everybody put their agendas on the side and focus on what this country needs.
On Wednesday, Scalise narrowly defeated Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan during a secret ballot vote among House Republicans to select a speaker. But 24 hours later, it was clear divisions remained, with Scalise still short of the votes needed to get elected on the House floor.
He worked today, felt as though he wasn't going to be able to get there. He's going to still be our majority leader. I've been in that exact same position that he was back in 2015.
It's unclear what happens next, and for now, business in the U.S. House remains on hold. Foreign Affairs Committee Chair Michael McCall calls the GOP infighting a dangerous game.
Our adversaries are watching this, and Israel is watching. They need our help.
This House of Representatives needs a speaker, and we need to open up the House again.
Majority Leader Scalise, the number 2 Republican, says he's going to push to make that happen as quickly as possible.
Meanwhile, after days of large-scale Israeli airstrikes, the Hamas-controlled Gaza Strip is heading toward a humanitarian crisis. The siege, which has killed more than 1,500 people, comes after last weekend's Hamas attack on South Israel killed more than 1,200. It was the largest loss of Jewish life in a single day since the Holocaust. Skylar Henry reports from Washington.
Israel says it will block deliveries of food, fuel, and medicine into Gaza until Hamas frees more than 100 hostages taken during the horrific attack on Israel. The morgue at Gaza's biggest hospital overflowed as the death toll surged after 6 days of Israeli airstrikes.
The United States stands with Israel and with its people. Today, tomorrow, every day.
Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu welcomed U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken, who came in a show of support.
President Biden was absolutely correct in calling this sheer evil.
Blinken visited a Tel Aviv donation center. A couple told him how they survived Hamas's deadly attack on a music festival.
We were saved by miracle, but there are friends that we love that weren't, that aren't.
The Biden administration says the safety of Americans stuck in Israel is a top priority. The U.S. plans to arrange evacuation flights starting this Friday. Dr. Ron Lobel told CBS News' Nora O'Donnell that he saw not only the horrors of Hamas in the hospital where he works, but also at his home near Gaza.
I'm wondering what you think about the amount of time it took for the Israeli forces to respond.
I can't even understand, because when a bird hits the fence, there is an alarm. We know about it. When a donkey touches the fence, the alarm is set. When somebody gets close to the fence, there are automatic weapons that start shooting. Nothing of that happened.
Now, as Israel prepares for a possible ground war in Gaza, civilians and soldiers from last weekend's terror are still being laid to rest.
While the crisis is still happening overseas, many in the U.S. have family or other loved ones right in the thick of it. Meredith Bruckner reports one woman's story from Farmington Hills.
For many residents living here in southeast Michigan, they're watching the situation in Israel and Gaza unfold on television screens. It's far away, but for one local woman, the situation hits very close to home. Many in Metro Detroit know Florine Mark as the former president of the Weight Watchers Group. She was the face of the weight loss company for decades. Now she spends her days in constant contact with her many family members living in Israel.
So awful when you hear the alarm goes off and the little kids have to go into a bomb shelter and sleep on mattresses.
What was your feeling Saturday, Sunday, watching this unfold as your family was there?
I wanted to run to Israel, grab a plane and grab all my children. Have them come back here until it's over, especially the grandchildren. That was my first and only thought. And then, of course, my thought is for the Israeli people. I mean, I know how proud they are.
Florine traveled to Israel last month for her grandson's wedding.
To think that my grandson, who just got married, was his beautiful bride, and he was called back up into the reserves, and, you know, who knows what he's doing. Who knows?
Thinking about him all the time?
All the time, every minute of every day.
As the days go by and the full scale of the attack by Hamas becomes more clear, she says she needs to take breaks from the news. She wakes up early every day and calls her daughter, who lives in Tel Aviv.
I think she's trying to spare me. Mom, don't worry, everything is fine. I think that, you know, they've all got to be scared. They've all got to be frightened.
Ultimately, her message is one of peace.
I don't want to see the Palestinians who are living in the Gaza Strip, who are not part of Hamas. I don't want to see them hurt either. It's just horrific. Israel wants to make peace, and I think there are many Palestinians that want to make peace too.
The effects of the crisis can even be felt by some here in the UP. Rabbi Leonard Zukro of Marquette's Temple Beth Shalom says, like a lot of Jewish people, he also has family and friends in Israel who are directly impacted by the crisis. He says there are ways UP residents can help support those affected.
The need right now is for Magen David Adom, which is the Israeli Red Cross, which runs the EMT services.
Rabbi Zukro expressed his condolences for the victims on both sides of the conflict. Continuing our coverage tonight of the United Auto Workers strike. So far, Stellantis has told almost all of the workers at the Trenton engine plant not to come into work because of the cascading effect the strike has had. Without the ability to collect a paycheck, Andres Gutierrez tells us how workers are adapting.
Hey, we're going to just wait it out. Whatever happens, happens. It's not like we're making the decisions. We're the victims of their decisions.
Timothy Fleenery is among the 520 workers at Stellantis' Trenton engine plant thrown a curveball over the weekend.
When I got there, they said, "You're going home. Goodbye." And even the management at my plant seemed to be taken by surprise.
The automaker says they had to do it because of so-called storage constraints due to the strike happening at the Toledo assembly plant.
Some of these people live check to check, and they've got family, large families or whatever. It's going to be hard for a lot of people.
And since they don't qualify for state unemployment benefits or supplemental pay, Local 372 is helping them sign up to get a check from the union strike pay fund.
They have to bring their personal information. They have to go in there, sit at a table with the counselor, and the counselor will walk them through on their phone how to register for strike pay.
Money kicks in about 8 days after registering.
And the way it goes with strike pay is once you become eligible, like they're registering today, you are allowed to make up to $499 without being penalized of losing your strike pay. So some people are taking second jobs, some people are, trying to get out there and hustle and bustle to do what they have to make ends meet.
She encourages the community to support those in need by making donations to local food pantries and animal shelters to help workers during these challenging times.
I don't think we're collateral damage for stuff going on at the bargaining table, except that corporate is the unions sticking to their guns, which they should be. We haven't had any gained anything back that we lost since 2008, 2009. So we're looking to gain that back.
And so all eyes will once again be on Facebook tomorrow morning at 10 when UAW President Shawn Fain gives members an update on where bargaining stands and if we'll see another strike expansion.
In Lansing, House Democrats have introduced a new clean energy bill that would change the way renewable energy plants are sited. The bill is called the Clean Energy and Job Act. Its authors say it would regulate siting new wind and solar farms the same way the Michigan Public Service Commission sites oil or gas pipelines and high voltage transmission lines. Some Democrats hope the bill will assist with building the necessary renewable energy plants in time to meet the 60% clean energy goals by 2030, but some UP legislators are concerned the bill's language is too vague and could overwrite the authority of local municipalities.
These bills really seek to strip local authority, any local input whatsoever on the siting of solar and wind. All of these efforts by the state of Michigan to go on a central planning type platform and take away local government's rights, I'm opposed to them across the board. I will call them out every time.
I have a lot of concerns about these bills. They are written very broadly and don't really do a good job of explaining exactly what the process would be, what the appeals process would be, and how local people would have not just input but an actual vote on these issues.
More of our conversations with our UP state representatives is up on our website, WZMQ19.com, and our mobile news app. New at 11, Escanabas Planning Commission decided tonight to postpone making a decision on allowing chickens within city limits. The commission held a public hearing on a proposed amendment to its zoning ordinance that would make it legal to keep a limited number of chickens or ducks on a resident's property. Some commissioners and residents were concerned about the smell the birds would create. The commission postponed making a decision on the amendment and planned to research the impact allowing chickens has had in other municipalities.
Communities in the state have done so. Ann Arbor, Kalamazoo, Marquette, Michigan State University Extension, among other groups, have provided a lot of resources guiding the development of any sort of enabling legislation or local ordinances.
You can visit WZMQ19.com for more details on the proposed zoning ordinance amendment. Your first warning weather forecast is coming up after this break. Plus, before drivers competing in the Lake Superior Performance Rally can shred the track, their cars need to be checked out first. What experts are looking at to make sure everyone is kept safe. And later, a new report is out on the inflation rate, where consumers are seeing the biggest impact from rising costs. We're back in 2 minutes.
19 News is brought to you by Kirkish Furniture.
Shop our huge selection of Amish-crafted dining room sets at Kirkish Furniture in Houghton. Browse our large in-stock collection and customize with a special order with 1-year no-interest financing available, plus free delivery. Shop Kirkish Furniture today.
Tomorrow is about putting in the energy today. That's why we're investing another $4 billion in renewables and low-carbon solutions, bridging to a sustainable energy future.
All-wheel drive season is coming. Changes, weather,
road conditions. What doesn't change? Toyota's capability to keep pushing on with a family of trucks built to outlast and outlive any adventure. Like the powerful new Tundra, the most capable Tundra ever, with towing up to 12,000 pounds and the best resale value in its class. Plus, you get 2 years no-cost maintenance. Change is coming. Stay ahead with Tundra. Toyota. Let's go places.
Escanaba and Delta County, home to beautiful beaches, Lake Michigan, lighthouses, pretty parks, and great people. It's why so many are proud to say, this is home. I'm Lily Simmons. I'll show you what's happening here every day. In your schools, your communities, and businesses. Sharing what makes this area so special.
Lily Simmons reports from Delta County. Weeknights at 6 and 11. Only on WZMQ 19 News.
The Baxter Family Survival Guide.
Dad, you taught us to be self-sufficient.
And yet you're all still here. Expect the unexpected.
You want money, maybe you should do what other people do.
Get my own reality show. Dad, I'm trying.
Learn to adapt.
You're gonna use a glass, right?
Fine, hand me the big one.
Last man standing.
This is home for CBS, WZMQ 19.
Now, WZMQ 19 News First Warning Weather with Ariane Stasek.
Current conditions out here, we've got fairly clear skies, calm conditions, some clouds moving in though, especially along the south and southwest corner. 38 in Ironwood, and check it out, 39 down here in Manistee. Newberry, heads up, and Luce County just in general. You could see some frost in the morning, especially before 9 a.m. The lows tonight we'll expect in that 40-degree range, but again, we could see some upper 30s. Our 3-day outlook, we've got breezy conditions returning, winds primarily coming out of the east-northeast, and those cool temperatures sticking with us for a little bit longer. Cloudy conditions are expected, and our weekend could be a little bit muddy. Right now, winds coming out of the north-northeast, fairly calm, but we'll see these kick up a little bit. So if you've got garbage night tonight or tomorrow, your bins could be tipped over or maybe in the neighbor's yard, because the Keweenaw Peninsula will see gusts up to about 25 miles an hour. The western UP 25, but central locations, basically Marquette all the way down to Menominee counties, we could see gusts up to 30 miles an hour. Let's take a look at what's happening as far as precipitation. Where is it? Mostly in Wisconsin. As you can see, some thunderstorms pushing through there the past couple of hours. We've been sitting nice and pretty, staying fairly dry, and we will continue with that story until tomorrow morning. Most of those showers hanging out down south here, so if you're headed into Wisconsin or coming back up, just a heads up on that. Could be a little bit dicey down there, but a lot of the precipitation that we see on our Friday is going to be down south, especially in Menominee County. Y'all, it's a 100% chance down there. Saturday, a lot of our activity is going to be coming off of Lake Superior. We could see some sprinkles inland, but other than that, we'll expect cloudy conditions. For our Friday, around noon, if you're sending your student in for school, make sure they're bundled up in the morning. It's going to be a little bit chilly, and then up to maybe 50, 51 degrees midday. Lake Superior Performance Rally, rev it up Friday and Saturday. We've got 20% chance of showers in Marquette. Things getting kicked off at 11 a.m. at Fox Marquette Subaru, and then those gusts could continue again into our Saturday, where we'll have maybe likely showers more so. And then Saturday and Sunday, we've got the UP 200 Dryland Dash. Man, I wish I was in town for this. That's happening in Negaunee. It's all that fun activity without the snow as of right now, right? 7-day outlook for Marquette. We'll have temperatures mainly in the lower 50s. We'll see some showers even into Monday, and then we're expecting to dry up for probably Tuesday and Wednesday. I've got details about your solar eclipse on Saturday coming up in 15.
Thank you very much, Ariane. Birchview Elementary students in Ishpeming gained a little more appreciation for a certain fruit that may even remind us about school: apples. Students visited Partridge Creek Farm today in Ishpeming for Apple Crunch Day. It's a day to promote National Farm to School Month and to celebrate the iconic Michigan apple. Students learned more about Michigan and the UP's apple season, and each student was given an apple from Little Parsley Farms. They even began chanting Apple Crunch in between every bite.
and adults seem to get excited about it, and I think that's what we saw today. A lot of the chanting and excitement came from getting the hands-on, real experience that we had today.
Organizers noted that the UP's growing season may be a bit shorter, but it creates more appreciation for local foods and farms around the UP. The Lake Superior Performance Rally races start tomorrow. However, before the drivers hit the terrain, the cars need to be inspected. Today at the Fox Marquette Subaru dealership, rally cars received a tech inspection, ensuring all cars have the required safety equipment. They will receive what's called a Rally Safe Unit chip that monitors speed and GPS location. The inspectors also check all the other features on the car, such as brake lights, horns, and even the insurance on the vehicle.
They're part of it. These cars have to be both street legal and rally legal. So that's an important factor. So every time you see a rally car, you need to remember that that car is street legal and has to meet the requirements to be running on the roads.
And some of the staging runs across actual roads, and each driver must obey traffic laws. The race starts off tomorrow morning at Fox Marquette Subaru with the Park Expose at 9 o'clock in the morning. A new store is open for business in Escanaba's Delta Plaza Mall. Five Below, founded in Pennsylvania in 2002, is known for offering a range of high-value products at more affordable prices, some even just $1. Much of the store's inventory is geared toward teens and tweens, but the store manager says there's something for everybody, from toys and games to beauty products and home decor. She says Five Below also brings something a little different to the area than other retailers.
We're getting new stores in here, which is helping Escanaba grow, and that's fantastic. But Five Below brings the fun. Our motto is let go and have fun. That's what we do when we're working, and that's what we want our customers to do.
Tomorrow at 10 a.m., Five Below will host its grand opening and ribbon cutting with activities and prizes for kids. Still ahead tonight, some good signs in the latest inflation report, but why overall consumers are still seeing higher prices.
We've been a big part of a lot of community events. You know, we've been to a lot of festivals, parades, the UP 200, the Meyer State Games. Which one has been your favorite?
I gotta say, okay, first of all, the Upper spirit, right? Yeah. Dedication, care, humor, and then that grit. And watching all of these events being put together and the volunteers, it's just been incredible, especially with the UP 200 having to pivot.
Yeah.
And that was my favorite because of how they were able to do that, but also the fact that they put snow on 3rd Street and we got to go sledding down there. That was my favorite. What about you?
I would agree with that. I mean, just the Festival of the Sled Dog was really cool to see because it was that Upper spirit of it doesn't matter if someone's going to knock us down, we're just going to keep going. And I think it was really cool for us to be a part of that too because it was right in front of our studios. Yes. I mean, we just had to walk out our front door basically and we could be right there at the festival. And I think that's really another cool thing about being right downtown is everything kind of does happen right at our front doorstep. And it's exciting not only as a news station, but as someone who lives here. It's exciting to have such easy access to these festivals and events and the Blueberry Festival and the Farmers Market.
That was my second one, was the Wednesday night Farmers Market and seeing all that local produce and products, especially those smash burgers.
The smash burgers were just delightful.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have any baseball fans here today? He's one of the biggest hitters in baseball history. A-Rod is in the house. Plus, the Golden Bachelor, Gary Turner.
What is that you're looking for? Because all the ladies want to know. You see him looking.
On the Jennifer Hudson Show.
The Jennifer Hudson Show, tomorrow at 5 on WZMQ TV CBS, followed by 19 News at 6. You're watching the award-winning WZMQ 19 News, live and local with Sarah Blakely.
A new report shows inflation remains high, but prices for some items are improving. Bradley Blackburn takes us inside the numbers.
Price hikes at the grocery store are getting closer to historically normal levels, up just 2.4% last month. But rent prices remain a problem, with rates going up more than 7%. Overall, inflation rose 3.7% in September, a big drop from last year's peak, but still above the 2% target regulators want to see.
I think when we look at how consumers are managing their personal finances here, it's still a juggling act for many Americans.
That includes senior Stephanie Raha.
And certainly we go to restaurants, coffee shops. The prices are just stunning compared to a couple of years ago.
Raha and others on Social Security will soon get more money. The cost of living adjustment is going up 3.2% starting in January. That's way down from the last benefit increase because inflation has dropped significantly in the past year. But the average recipient will still get a boost of about $50 a month. Would that be helpful to you?
It would. I mean, I do have some savings, but Social Security matters a lot.
Inflation has stayed above 3% since June. Now the Federal Reserve has to decide if more action is needed. The Fed has been raising interest rates to slow rising prices and previously signaled there could be another increase before the end of the year, and a cut won't come anytime soon.
Whether there's one more rate hike or not between now and the end of the year, the expectation is fully that rates will remain higher for longer.
The Fed will make its next decision on rates in November.
Here's a feel-good story for you. A North Carolina farmer is the proud owner of one of the largest pumpkins in the world. Claire Curry shows us the gargantuan gourd.
For nearly 25 years, Donald Murphy has been growing these massive pumpkins and watermelons to bring to the fair, and he hopes that this year they'll be bringing home a top prize.
Somebody started a neighborhood contest, see who could grow the biggest watermelon, and about 10 head of us put up a whole $1 a piece, and we were going to let the winner take the whole $10. So we grew one. My first one weighed 118 pounds, which I won with it, and then we kept getting bigger and bigger.
Even though this is just his hobby, Murphy has been trying different methods to grow the largest watermelons and pumpkins around.
Now that's not dirt, that's just rotten cotton. I use some really old chicken house litter and some rotten cotton, a residue. What it is when they take the cotton to the mill, they have a lot of scraps left out of it, and that's what this is. And I add a little fertilizer about once a week.
This year, he's been tending to his pumpkin and watermelon since June, with his pumpkin weighing around 700 pounds and his watermelon around 200. This upcoming week, he'll be competing against growers from all across the country.
Try to get part of my money back and bragging rights. There's a lot of people into this stuff.
And he says he'll continue to cross-pollinate his giant produce and enter the contest year after year.
Well, I'm gonna grow them probably till I croak. It's fun, you know.
The world's overall #1 pumpkin weighed a whopping 2,124 pounds. That's more than twice Murphy's haul. But Murphy also had a gigantic watermelon that came in at 191.6 pounds, and that was actually 8th in the world competition. We've got some rain showers returning tomorrow, and we'll also be a little bit chilly along with it. Ariana's in next to let us know how long that will last. And the Marquette organization that just received a major grant to renovate and revitalize an old building downtown. That's our final story after this break.
The wait is over. England Furniture's quick shipping is back at Kirkish Furniture. Choose your style and fabric and receive your furniture in as little as 30 days. Browse our in-stock selection or let our staff help you customize the perfect sofa or chair. Plus, 1 year free financing and free delivery.
Like we never left. We back. What did I miss? Did anyone get indicted?
Superior Collision is seeking a certified auto body technician for full-time employment. Qualified candidates can call or apply in person, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Monday through Friday.
Need to get from point A to point B quickly, efficiently, safely? The Marquette County Transit Authority is your ticket to ride. Friendly drivers operate clean, blue and white buses throughout Marquette County 365 days a year. Seniors 60 plus ride free every Wednesday. For information about routes and tickets, click on marktran.com. We keep you moving. Marquette Transit.
Another thrilling week to play football. The NFL on CBS. Catch all the action this week on WZMQ 19. Sunday's game features the Seattle Seahawks against the Cincinnati Bengals at 1 p.m. See you this Sunday for the NFL on WZMQ 19, home of the 2024 Super Bowl.
Perry Mason is the perfect entertainment for day and night. During the day, it's a great, juicy courtroom drama.
You killed Polly first to get rid of her.
And at night, it's a perfect, spooky murder mystery. It's Perry Mason.
Weekdays at 9 a.m. and 11:30 p.m. on MeTV 19.1.
I'm Rachel Knapp. Watch my reports live from Washington, only on 19 News.
Well, friends, we're in the 40s, but we do have some temperatures dipping down into the upper 30s. Heads up, Luce County, you could have some frost in the morning if temperatures get even cooler. We've got spooky conditions this weekend. The Old Michigan Theater is having a haunted house on Friday and Saturday. That goes from 6 to 10. They're also showing some spooky movies. Head over to our website for more information on that. And then also on Saturday, the annular Ring of Fire solar eclipse. This is when the moon blocks the sun just enough to make a ring of light. Unfortunately, that path to see it starts in Oregon and heads southwest into Texas. We're in that 35% range, and our partial solar eclipse starts at 11:40 in the morning, maxes out at 12:55, and then ends around 2:13 in the afternoon. And reminder, please don't look directly into the sunlight. I'll have more tips for you and information on how to make a viewer available on our website.
Finally tonight, a Marquette organization will soon revitalize a park in the city. The City of Marquette Arts and Culture Office received a $1 million grant to redevelop the former Lake Superior Community Partnership building on Front Street. The building will now house the city's Arts and Culture Office and provide public bathrooms for the area. The brand new trailhead will also be created for the city's cultural trail.
That's going to really help make it a space for a lot of programming. We invite outdoor programming in the summer to happen there, indoor programming. I think it's really up to the community's imagination.
The city hopes to have plans finalized for the project by the end of December.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Because I've been wondering about that building ever since I was little.
Exactly.
Never really stopped there, so that's good.
Well, the LSCP was in there, and then they kind of moved out, and so it's always nice to see these old buildings getting reused around town.
Yes, and not destroyed.
Yes, and they have a good view in that building, too. That's it for now. We'll see you tomorrow.
Tomorrow isn't some distant unknown. Tomorrow is happening right now. Because at Enbridge, we're advancing new technologies and modernizing our operations to ensure our world has safe, secure, and sustainable energy today and tomorrow.